아니 다 다와 통와 아니 통와 드레스 다 약바 생들라 마주바 그런 가래 통나야 또 오버처마 좀 가야 많이 받지 살동 살바 통야 갈래요 말에 동바 네 통야라 special way of 통거라마도 normal way of 통야 메래 다들 검신 전에 내마지 랑신 그 똑바치 저다 그 똑바치 주로 지어는 아 다들 통송 나선 좀 샤라 바로 친기 소소랑르 뭐 통도와 저기 용화지 때문에 통거래스 남주 normal 스타일이 통통 말해 들 로그 통 말해서 로 다른 거는 통거래서
So that's a discussion of looking and seeing, and after seeing comes letting be. And so that the seeing is not a normal type of seeing. It's not how we normally see with our dualistic conceptual mind. It's a different kind of seeing that goes beyond that dualistic conceptual seeing. It's a type of seeing that is in the manner of simplicity beyond constructs. And that is, indescribable, inconceivable, and so on. And it is a manner that is only through self-awareness or through reflexive awareness. And one day we'll have an experience of that simplicity, and then we'll know, that's how self-awareness sees. And it's especially the empty aspect, which this is referring to, more so than the clarity aspect.
clarity ngaso 신의가 통사라와 다 동bat 통고도 based on that.
The clarity is, we already saw that in the shamatha practice. It's this empty essence that is seen in this particular way in this practice.
다들 망보에 마통와데 통화군지 초 되네 마통 남주 통화 나지 마통와지 되네 직 통거레스 남주 마인 바지 통거레스 데 통화 탐직 초도 줘버레스.
So that quote, not seeing something is the supreme seeing, because it's not our normal way of seeing. The way this type of seeing is described is as a not seeing, or a not seeing something.
되네도 가인고 다들 realize 세그레 똑바줄라 제양 세그레 저들 ngosheyang 세그레 lamji nesenbas step on the 101, not on all the lamchung mayimba lamching iten leva in a street in a street. Huh? Where are you? Can I hear? City by city 101. Interstate, yeah, that one. 101.
Lam chung mai mbasa ani lam
Lamchuma is all this lam here, lam chunjura. But all the somehow connect with
lam chewa.
lam chewala. That the lam korang lev lam chunal ma lam chen levs. Lam chengi. Nesen bas nesen. Arrive at the Crestone lam de lam chungro at the ba. Ba lam change to what 285 south or north? But anyway, 285. Then you want to go south or north, up to you. So, but all these small roads are not connected, but not met. So you arrive in this Rigpa, you met the 101. All these other preliminaries are trying to go there. Handshake practice, Shabata practice, visualization practice, for foundation practice, all this trying to get to there. Chala, make nice package.
There's many names for that. Um, recognizing simplicity, having direct experience be born in the mind stream. There's many different names for it. Taking actually finding the main path, meeting the main path. So there's many different names for that special type of seeing.
That is seeing just how shula, that's somebody. That they're seeing the Zobashim Taware, say what.
So seeing, the second step, is also called the view of Dzogpa Shenpo.
Looking then dropping the Tawamare. Looking then dropping la tenne, Tawate, and Taware.
Looking and dropping are not the view, but based on looking and dropping, seeing can happen, and seeing is the point where the view dawns.
Karesin Chiresna, O Tomba Raja Salva Tuja Kapameba Moshavadala, Yermeto Tobatela, Tawas, Zobashim Tawas.
And what is that?
Tawa Moshi, Segorda.
And what is that? It's the empty essence, the natural clarity, or natural lucidity, and the unimpeded, compassionate energy recognized together at the same time. That's what seeing is. It's also called recognition, or recognizing the view.
Then, Da Gomba Sayongore, Zobashim Gomba.
So then that brings us to meditation, or the special kind of meditation in Dzogchen practice.
Then, Jogujerumbaja Sonala, and let it be, Sanity Yogore.
In Tukorogen Rinpoche's style of teaching, he uses letting be for this.
Da Karchagorastati Tomate, Jurimbu, Yoeg Tabla, Gomba Segore.
Basically, in order to make seeing last for a longer period of time, we engage in this kind of meditation.
Meditation is Zawate, Majuba Segore.
And the root of meditation here is being uncontrived.
And that Majubala and Yore, Tawangoshin in Majubajan, Tawangomashiber Majubashaji.
You can say there's two kinds of uncontrived practice. One without recognition of the view, and one with recognition of the view.
Ngomashibigi Majubade Kares.
What is uncontrived practice without recognition of the view?
Before that, before Shamatha, what we taught about it? Yeah. That one. Handshake the Majubarawa. Kare being Sana Majubarawa.
Handshake is uncontrived practice because being is being uncontrived.
See? We do nothing uncontrived. Inaya di tawang ngoshe yamare. Saldong ngoshe yamare. Chik chena. Handshake then saldong ngoshe sigre. Sige mare laguyo mare. Inaya ko handshake chasati saltong chegiyo mare. Whatever monster, whatever problem, whatever tila handshake chena saltong yong se mare. So let it be with whatever arises laguyo. Handshake di no. Let it be with a view.
So the handshake type of letting be or being uncontrived is without the view. It's possible that through handshake we might recognize the view, but handshake itself is just letting be or being uncontrived with a beautiful monster or an emotion or any aspect of experience, a problem, anything, but without specifically recognizing empty clarity. It's not that it's impossible to recognize empty clarity through handshake. It might happen. It might handshake, and then the nature of empty clarity might dawn from within that. But it is just a letting be with an aspect of experience. Whereas this new type of letting be is not that. It's letting be with the view.
The view manyana, then handshake let it be chere.
If we haven't found the view, if we don't find the view, then our letting be is handshake practice.
Hopefully through handshake we find view. Then you let it be the view. If you cannot find view, let it be whatever arises. Uncontrived. Being means uncontrived. Okay, you understand that? This thing, I don't know why. For me, it's very easy. I think it's a cultural problem. But I have to remind every year, more or less. Last year I remember, and same person, and some has forgot. This distinguish. So I don't know. I like to know why is that. Sometimes for me it's very difficult. For you so easy. For something for me easy, for you become very difficult. Like a view. The concept of view become very problematic for you. View means like something, my point of view. That view. View means you have something, yeah? But Dzogchen view is, you don't have nothing is that view. So this kalkaudoa. Tinashi machupa saying the kalkauyona looks like is not, but machupa ngone the kalkauyo sare tengu.
I think this is sort of like that, uncontrived as well. It can seem really difficult. It can seem really not difficult. Did
I say in English or Tibetan? Before that? In English? Okay. That's why he's hesitant to translate. But translate one more time in English.
ngarangi rumshigi kare
Labate.
lelabo ngazo kashi kare kaboro dosho ya. Rumshigi said before that some things that seem really difficult to him are really easy for us, and other things that are very easy for him seem really difficult for us. And the view, the definition of the view here, and being uncontrived seems to be one of the things that we find quite difficult.
Uncontrived. Uncontrived is let it be. Being, all same. So, of course, many of you went for massage, yeah? You have experience about massage? Head cracking. Head, what? Crack, crack, crack. So you go there, and they say, crack! First one, uncontrivably happened. You didn't do anything, they did it. and now left, and you do together. You do together with the massage therapy, no? You're trying to help, or you hold it, or you're trying to say, please let it be uncontrived. They will not say uncontrived, but just relax. Their language. Massage therapist language, relax. But you so just give your head to the therapist's hand. And do nothing, like the first one. There's uncontrived. The first one is uncontrived. Let it be. Do nothing. Even though the therapist is moving your head, you are uncontrived. All the thoughts and emotion comes, you are uncontrived. As soon as you're involved, you're contrived already. But you know therapist is moving your head, but you are not involving. You're practicing naturalness. Yeah? Okay, something like that. Otherwise, if you become like the third one, handshake with, we are not handshaking whatever arises, or handshake with, like no, uncontrived. Okay, I'll use him. It's been too free. The 강셔르기 땡라 강셔르기 땡라 마주바샤 say handshake. 다 르바 ngoshi tawa 통에 땡도 마주바샤 say는데 조신 마주바래. 약간 조신 배주 당겨 그래. 즉 tawa다 제비 마주바지. 즉 tawa다 매비 마주바래. But if we think did majubachi third or mature relaxedism, uncontraptedism. That is frozen. Depending on that, this is not doa. Oh, that this is not degree. This majela.
So the basic instruction is to let be with whatever's happening, with anything. But in fact, Dzogchen practice uses both kinds of being, or both kinds of uncontrived. Being uncontrived with the view and being uncontrived without the view. Both are used, and both are beneficial. But there's a third option, which is the danger, which is turning the concept of being uncontrived into another thing or a state, and then making that happen. I'm being uncontrived, which is not uncontrived at all, it's frozen. So the first two, being uncontrived with the view and being uncontrived without the view, are part of the practice. The third is like a wrong turn or a danger.
Good. Sönam diye damje zebani tomne yebe dana bamje jega na che bala rubaye seben solen ro na jo by this merit. Changju semcho rinpoche aje pana je jara je je wa nyam ba me ba ya kone kondo be wa sho. Don't wonder, don't wonder. Page 16.
Top of page Injiki Kyungba. In English only. Don't wander, place mindfulness on guard. Along the road of distraction, Mara lies in ambush. Mara is the mind clinging to like and dislike. So look into the essence of this magic, free from dualistic fixation. Once your originally pure, uncontrived mind is revealed, there is no Buddha elsewhere. Look at your own face. There is nothing else to search for. Rest in your own place. Non-meditation is spontaneous perfection. So capture the royal seat.
Do that. Mike?
We're going to just take a couple of minutes to do the setup, but if you could stay seated so we don't have a big diaspora. Unless you are choosing not to be at the presentation. But I hope that you are. I hope that you are interested in having some tears come to your eyes. Yeah, if you can't see the TV, please just, Nepali style, move in, find a place where you can see. Would you like to see?
Yes. Yeah.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you.
Jules, can you help turn that mic on? I think that turned off.
Is this it right there? Probably where it says power. To think I used to do this for a living. I want to thank you all very much for staying and taking a few moments of your time to and hopefully open your mind and heart to what we'll share with you today, which involves Rinpoche's vast activity on the other side of the world. We're all here benefiting from his incredible activity here with us in the States, and certainly many of you have studied with him in Europe, and there are friends here from Southeast Asia as well, and Singapore and China, so
Taiwan.
we benefit. Taiwan, yes. Excellent, thank you. But he also, another one of his big heart projects is his work with the Sokni lineage nuns in Nepal. And maybe a little later, Rinpoche will tell us a little bit about the lineage, but in keeping with the first Sokni Rinpoche in Tibet, Sokni Rinpoche III has really dedicated a lot of his life's work to encouraging and nurturing and supporting female practitioners in Nepal and other places, especially in the sense that they often aren't given the greatest education or given the opportunity to have received the more advanced teachings or to do the most advanced retreat. And so in that way, these women, with his support and all of your support and help and love, are able to really carry on a very precious set of teachings and a precious lineage. So without further ado, I will present this year's offering, our slideshow called Joyful Radiance, and then afterward I'll fill you in on some projects and we'll hear from some special guests. So, thank you.
It's coming from emptiness.
Yes.
Watch.
Joyful Radiance. Thank you.
so-called Tansoni. So then I decided myself, so I will devote all my life to improve women's education, to fully focus on female practitioner with full modern education.
Okay, Saturday, happy day.
And with the authentic Buddhist teaching, which I call path of enlightenment in the woman's form.
Watching a little healthy TV helped my lung come down a little bit, so maybe I'll make more sense now. The work of our organization is to basically raise funds for ongoing construction projects, support of the nuns, which means from bodily, mentally, physically. I mean, he does all the spiritual. But we basically are a fundraising organization to support Rinpoche's activities with his nuns. And last year, I believe I stood up here and said that we were finished fundraising for construction. And now would be a good time to remember it is real, but not true. Interdependence, impermanence. We are actually, and actually it's very exciting, we are raising funds now to build a new school at Sokni Getchak Ling, which is the whole nunnery complex Rinpoche's been building for the last 10 years, about 9, on Chobar Hill, which is on the outskirts of Kathmandu. And there was an original school built. We're going to learn more about the new school. But we've been offered, so that was the bad news. We're raising money for construction again, and I lied. But the good news is we have been given a very generous and exciting matching challenge gift is being offered to us by Ani Pema Chodron and Scott Wellenbach. And I think most of you probably know who Pema Chodron is. For those of you who don't know who Scott Wellenbach is, he's a longtime practitioner. I think he was originally a student of Chogyam Trungpa. He's a member of the Nalanda Translation Committee. He's a very skilled teacher and author. And it turns out he's a really good poker player. And he wins money playing poker and has gone in with Ani Pema and offered us a $100,000 matching gift. And we are already have raised $48,000 of that. So that's really exciting, and every little bit helps. And that's the focus of our presentations this year is the new school. And to talk a lot about the school, I'm going to shift over to very special guest, a dear friend, and an inspiration to me whenever I'm feeling low, Ms. Finula Shenpen, who is the director of the school at Sokni Getchak Ling in Kathmandu.
Good morning, everybody, and thank you so much for being here and for your time and attention. So just for those of you who don't know, in 2013, at Rinpoche's request, I traveled to Kathmandu to help on the project. At the time, we had like 80 young nuns. There was an informal school running, and in March that year, we started a full-time school. This April in 2019, I am delighted to say we had our first graduates. Our first... Thank you. Our first grade 8 class, they completed Nepal's first kind of government examination, the basic level examination. They did excellently. And Rinpoche was present at their graduation when they gave speeches themselves in Tibetan, Nepali, and English, and thanked us most profoundly for giving them that opportunity. It was quite beautiful. Yeah. So we now have a kindergarten, a primary school, which in Nepal is grades 1 to 5, and a lower secondary school, which is grades 6, 7, and 8, at which point the girls do the state exam, and then after graduation, they have the opportunity to study in Shedra. So April's graduates are already in the foundation year of Shedra. Then they have 9 more years, and then they will be Shedra graduates. So just to give you a quick overview of the whole complex, before we started the school, a group of adult nuns joined Shedra. So we have one group graduating this spring in 2020, and the second group will graduate in 2021. Then we'll have a little gap. We also have a 3-year retreat centre, the Pema Chodron Drip Day, named after its sponsor, the Pema Chodron and her foundation. And we have a group of nuns currently in retreat there, and they will be concluding their retreat also this spring in 2020. So we are one large community. In the school, we have about 120 students, give or take, probably 125 actually. And in the whole community, we have 160 plus. I think it's getting close to 170. And we have nuns in school, kindergarten, primary, lower secondary, nuns in Shedra, nuns in retreat, and nuns in the general community running the Gompa and performing the daily puja that we call the Trasang. So that is Sukni Gechok Ling. Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Oh, well, I could just add our latest accomplishment is we're part of a Buddhist schools committee in Nepal. We work with the other Gompas there like Kopa and Sechen and Trungpa Rinpoche's SMD school. And we just had our annual event, which this year was a science fair and an essay writing competition. And we were in first place in the science fair.
I was there for the science fair a few years ago, and the Anis had set up a bunch of different stations where they would quiz you, or you could actually just test yourself. They were so friendly. They weren't really quizzing, but they were sort of guiding one through a series of exercises, all of which I routinely failed. And then they were so sweet because they would give me a candy anyway. And I was like, no, but I didn't earn it. They're like, that's okay. I think they felt bad for me.
I forgot one very important point. I just feel very conscious of being the face of the whole community. So I really want to say on behalf of all of the nuns, all of the Kempos, all of our lay teachers, all of our students, Shedra students, everyone, they really are so grateful to all of you. Yeah, they really rejoice that you're here with Rinpoche. They respect you as fellow students, and they thank you so sincerely for everything you do for them.
So I'm going to get to Rinpoche. I just want to point out on the table out there, there is a board that says new primary school, but I've been corrected. My mistake. It's the new school. It's not only a primary school. It's a new school altogether. And I feel like just drive all blames into me. There's a very artistic rendering of what the school will look like, but that artist rendering seems to be somewhere high in the Tibetan plateau, and we are on a hill right outside of Kathmandu, so it's slightly different in reality. Next year, very exciting, is going to be the consecration of Sokni Gechak Ling, and there will be information coming out, and everyone is warmly welcome. So it's a big trip, but we hope to see many of you there. And we have some postcards out there. These are all free. Take as many as you want. You might want to give them to friends. It's a nice way to just spread the word, spread the love. And of course, this is our donation form. You can take it with you and look at it. And if you have any questions, I want to quickly just point out a few people, because today's not about talking. But tomorrow, when silence is lifted, if you have questions or want to talk to any of the people involved with this work, I'd like to point out, let's see, David and Joni, who were there at the nunnery. Are they here? David and Joni, David, Stan. They came last year and taught English at Soknigetchakling. I also want to point out, they're wonderful, but we'll hold the applause. Bella, wave your hand, dear. She's painting what are just some of the most magnificent thangkas that one can possibly see. I would say follow her on Facebook. You can see her work, but she's painting thangkas for the main shrine hall. I want to point out my colleagues, Jean Chang, who has been working with the nuns and with Rinpoche for, well, we won't say how long, but a long time. And Michael Kunkel over here, my friend, who's also on the board. I would like to point out Larry and Evita, who's hiding, I think. Well, they have also spent a lot of time at the complex and been involved in its construction. And my name's Bebo, and so please, tomorrow, when silence lifts, if you want to talk to us about anything, find us. And now, Rinpoche, I hope you'll say a few words. Oh, and we do have this wonderful booklet that Finula put together. There's a couple of copies out there. And who? Bella put together. See, the Bella. So Bella put together, and there's a few copies, so I invite you to take a look at it. And Rinpoche, if you would just let us know a bit about the school. Thank you.
Yeah, not so much. And I really thank you. Funula did a great job. Without her impact in the Sonyi Gajaling, it might not be like that now. So she put thinking, brought her German side. Irish side, I don't know. Yeah? Really? Irish? Okay, I can see it. So, because we need that factor. So, it's going very well. And then, of course, first construction we did a school for emergency way. So it's a little small, and then everything is not there. Many things we realize afterwards, we need this, we need that. So we're adding here and there. But I want to build proper school one day, but there's no land. This year, miraculously, someone selling land. And then we raised fund a little bit. We have some money from Europe for the land. Put together, we got this land. Quite expensive, but we did it. Then the seed from Alaya, the school, came, triggered by the land. So one day we talked together, all of us. Then we said, okay, we do, for good benefit, good reason, properly whatever school needs, we will put there. So everything is there. It's quite costly, like 1,800,000. So everything, primary school. Before is the young children are up there, school is down there. So it's a little bit. Now all in one nice compound for the teacher, for the office, for the resident, for blah 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 blah. Everything we make. So yeah, and that the old school will use by Sheta, because we build Sheta, but every year 15 nuns, 12 nuns, 20 nuns come out of school, so they're joining school, Sheta. Of course, they can stick with the school, but not so nice. There's also not much place. Every year, new nuns are coming. So, yeah. Sheta will go there. We have Sheta two places. One is study, one is resident, more or less new one, new school. Then old school, new school will function as a, what do you call, new school. Yeah, so we are thinking we don't want to be too fancy, but too cheap. That cannot function. Broken, something not good, smelly. So in the middle way, we're looking for middle way of building. And I make a little bit good because the nuns, they always feel we are behind. So one thing I did is environment affects a lot. So I make kind of nice, beautiful, so they feel proud of their place. Second thing, nutrition. Most important is education. And then they don't feel behind. They don't need to fight, they are front. Otherwise they are behind, the fight is a little ugly. To see the face like fighting. So they are just gracefully, and then eventually it will go up like that. Through the health, through the dignity, education. Then, so that's why hiddenly trying to raise up. It was happening already. When our nuns go here, there many people look at, they are clean, they are nice, they are modern, they speak Nepali perfectly, they speak English, they speak Tibetan. So who is this nuns are? It's a little different. And there, yeah. So I think we already raised more or less 700,000. With this, I think 800,000. From China, we raised about 5, 6, 7. Yeah. If this 2 comes, 7. And it will happen. So, work hard. Because I'm a horse, I have to work hard. Joking. Chinese says, you're born on a horse here, yeah? You have to work hard, but it will achieve. One Chinese astrologer told me, what year you born? I was born horse. Oh, you have to work hard. Since that, I sort of believe. Okay, thank you.
I'd like to thank you all again for staying this extra time. And I also want to extend a really heartfelt thank you to Esteban and Tressa for finding the time in this very close retreat schedule for us to share this with you. And they always make it possible for us, and we're very, very grateful.
And
So,
actually, Pundarika
Pundarika.
also one of the major donation. And many of your money is channeling through Pundarika to the nunnery. Many years, and now also. So somehow you're also donor.
The store
Store,
benefits the organization. So everyone who works for it, it's like we're a very lucky branch on a really good tree. So,
And everything is transparent in Nepal. We follow completely 100% legal system. We don't want to make any hanky-panky there. So it's no problem. So everything, we hired professional people to do this and to accountable, everything clearly. No black money, all white money.
Yeah.
Of course, we pay more because of that, but we don't mind. Yeah. Okay. So
Thank you.
what we do now?
Some
of you must leave.
Yeah.
How? Break? Get a break?
Do you want a break or just go to small group?
Just go to small group.
Okay, so if you're in the small group for today, if you will remain, and then those of you who are not in the small group today can
get out.
can experience the essence love of the of the video outside.